Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Mount Mindset with me, Gio McNee. What I'm going to do this week is everyone asks this when we do Mount Mindset. They always, whether it's a hill climb or whether they're asking about the t-shirt or someone's sort of passed on the things that we're doing in the community, they always say, like, what is Mount Mindset? And I wrote a short story about what Mount Mindset is and the story behind it. So it's within school, and some of you might have seen it and some of you have yet to read it. So I'm going to go over it. I'm going to read the short story. I wrote this about explaining what this mythical mountain might be. And I'm going to go over it and then do the defining principles as well, about the principles that we operate with, that we set ourselves a standard to hold ourselves to account, to get the most out of ourselves and to help pass on that to others. The other thing is that I'm doing a new challenge, which is a 7-day challenge, and I'll tell you more about that in the end. So let's take a look at what ascending Mount Mindset is. So Mount Mindset is the testing ground in your mind, the imaginary mountain that you must battle to ascend to be able to realise your goals and dreams. Picture the scene. There is a huge mountain and it has many routes up to the top of the summit. You don't know which one to take, so you ask a local guide who has ascended the mountain many times. You say, what's the best route up? And why did so many people take on the challenge? The guide says, the summit is the only peak high enough to allow you to see a line of sight to your goals and dreams. Without climbing to the top, it's impossible to plot your route to your dreams. The reason people come and take this challenge is that they have heard about those who have climbed to the top and achieved all of their goals and dreams. So you ask, why is there so many different routes? The guide says, everyone who comes here has different strengths and weaknesses. And Mount Mindset gives the climber a choice of the route to the top. The route that you choose will play to your strengths, but also expose your weaknesses. And in climbing it, you will be faced with many choices along the way. For instance, to quit and go back down and forget your dreams, or to lean into the weakness and grind past it and develop your weakness into a strength. At each level in Mount Mindset, you face the challenge, and it's challenge after challenge, as the mountain knows how to prepare you in just the right way. As the journey forges you as you reach the summit, and it becomes clear why. So you ask, why? The guide says, once at the top of the summit, you can see a perfect view in all directions, a full 360 degrees, and it's every possible combination of every goal and dream that you can think of. From the summit, you can see how you can plot a clear route to any goal and dream that you have. The hard route on the way up will test your limits and push you past what you thought was possible for you. Climbing Mount Mindset will prepare you for the top so that you can shed your weaknesses and develop the self-confidence, self-worth and self-belief. Without taking the hard path to the top, you would not be able to see your goals and dreams in the distance. Making the choices along the way and leaning into your weaknesses and enduring each challenge will give you the experience and the wisdom to take the route to your goals and dreams that you never thought was possible. So you ask, is this for everyone, or is it just the gifted? The guide says, yes, everyone is capable, but not everyone is ready to defeat their weaknesses. There are lots of people who do give up. So you ask, why? Why do people give up if they know that their dreams can be seen at the top? The guide says, they listen to their inner voice, the inner bitch, and that talks them out of pushing on and convinces them it's too hard or too difficult. They give in to the weakness, and it's unfortunate because they're so close to breaking down their weaknesses, but they quit. They fall short and give up just before they're about to make it. They come down to the bottom, defeated, dejected, and with only excuses as comfort that it was too hard, and that's something that eats away at them. So you ask, what is it? On the mountain, they actually see people that are less talented, less able, and have less potential than them, and they reach the top. They leave confused about how that happened, how it was possible, and that question haunts them as it exposes their excuses and justifications of why they couldn't make the top as just lies. They knew they could make the top, but they just quit. Do they ever try again, you ask? The guide says yes, some come back quickly and others a little later down the line. They come back because they have to prove to themselves that what they feel inside is real. So you ask, what is it that they feel? The guide says they feel that they have more potential to tap into, more to give. They have this nagging feeling that if they don't do it now, it might be their only shot. Some do it to prove to themselves. Some do it to prove to a significant other. Some do it for their parents. Some even do it for their kids. They need to know if it's true. You ask, if what's true? The guide says, if it's true that they have it, if is it true that they can reach their goals and dreams, they need to find out. So you ask, will they make it the next time? The guide says, only those who are prepared to make the trade. So you ask, what's the trade? The guide says, will they give up all their excuses, justifications and reasons why not for a shot at seeing their maximum potential? Are they ready to trade it all in and put it all in the line? You say, how many make it? The guide says, more than you would think. You say, how many? The guide says, let me show you the board. The guide takes you to the board of the summit of Mount Mindset climbers. The board is filled with names, some that you know, some that you don't. But all the names are there of those who made the choice, those who took the trade and went on to their full potential. You ask, so what changed in them? The guide said, some come when they are told it's been their final chance. Maybe they've been told that they'll die soon. Some throw themselves at the mountain with reckless abandon, an all-out shot at the summit. Maybe they had a shock in their life where someone had died who they were close to, and they promised that one day they would do great. They feel that honouring their dead loved one and giving it their all. Maybe it's love that drives them past their breaking point and their potential takes over. Some are doing it for their partner, kids or parents. Some even do it because they're just so lost they climb to find purpose and end up they find themselves. That's why the beauty of Mount Mindset. It takes you to the deepest, darkest parts of you and shows you that the brightest, strongest parts of you are there and that you can do it if you push all the way. It is the ultimate internal proving ground for yourself. And that is the story of Mount Mindset. And that's, I guess, what the purpose of it is the reason that we do the Mount Mindset meetup challenges is that story is deep and profound. And I'm sure that even just hearing that, you can't help but feel energized and want to take on a challenge. Making the connection when you actually do something physically, you put yourself in that situation, you put yourself in that environment where you set off and you find it hard, and then you have this goal of reaching the top, but you struggle with, maybe I'm not fit enough, maybe I'm not as fast as others. You deal with this inner voice, the inner bitch, and you need to face that. And the more times that you face something, and it's well known that if you want to defeat something, the best thing's exposure. So constantly doing it and exposing yourself to it, you will just become accustomed to handling the pressure that you face whenever you're trying to beat or defeat something. And we do these Mount Mindset meetups on real physical mountains, and we climb to the top. We've had all shapes, all sizes, all experience, all parts of the world, people that have climbed many Munros, some that have never climbed a hill in their life, some that have survived cancer, some that have been told that they should never take on physical activity, and they've all smashed it. And it's these events that allow you that chance to prove to yourself that you have it in you. And if you say, for instance, you never thought you could climb a hill, imagine what it's like when you get to the top. Imagine the feeling. And on the other end of the spectrum, there's guys there that have climbed many many hills, and it's certainly not a challenge physically, but one of the gifts that they get is being part of something and helping others, and that whole environment where people are getting out in fresh air. And it's great to see people climbing at the top, and that in itself can be just as good a prize as climbing your first hill. So here's some of the defining principles that we go by in Mount Mindset, and I'll just run through them. They're short, they're punchy, they're concise, but they're things that we keep in mind whenever we're setting up our day. So here they are. Unearth your potential. Recognize that you possess way more potential inside you than you realize, and it's waiting for you to unleash it. Just imagine you started that, your day like that, where he says, look, I know that I've got more in me and I'm going to find something today. No matter how big or how small it is or what the challenge may be, I'm going to set myself something and go for it. The next one is harness the power of your mind. The entire perspective of your life is mental. So we live in 3 planes. We live in a spiritual plane, we live in a mental plane, and we live in a physical plane. And if you really want to make an impact on both the other planes, being the physical and the spiritual, the way to do it is via your mind, controlling and mastering your emotions, what your focus is on, controlling your thoughts, controlling what things mean to you, and the relationship between taking your feelings and driving you forward to something that means something to you, to have a life worth living. If you're out there and you feel like you're lost, or you lack purpose, or you feel stuck, or you feel like you've got more potential, you don't know where to place that, then these are the things that you keep in mind that will help you find your path. Even if you're stuck in a rut, or you've went backwards, or you've went down the wrong road, doesn't matter. Live by these principles and you're going to find your calling. The third principle is relentless development. Right? Embrace perpetual development. The journey to improvement never ends. There is no stop. There's no finish line on improvement. You can continue to develop yourself endlessly until your days are done. The very first day you come in here and you're improving, the very last day you can improve before you check out. We're all born and we all die. It's what you do in the middle that counts. So have a life worth living and live by these principles, and you're going to find great purpose within yourself. Now, adversity happens. The great thing about life is it's uncertain and things pop up and we can adapt. It gives us a chance to adjust. So when adversity hits, double down on yourself. Whether in triumph or adversity, intensify your efforts for unparalleled growth. You're either winning or you're learning. Go hard at both. Embrace failure as a golden opportunity. So extract valuable lessons from setbacks. Failure is a stepping stone to improvement. Failure will be your ally for growth. So remember what I said before is that we are in charge of what something means to us. When you're failing is an opportunity to learn, improve and adapt. So failures are only failures if you don't learn from them. When something's happened, figure out what you could do better. If you were to play it back and run it back, what would you do? And by attaching that meaning, you're going to pick up so much more wisdom and not attach the feeling of negativity to failures. Failures are just part of the process. So get used to it and expose yourself to it and start to use them for you rather than against you with negative feelings. You will learn the art of masterful communication. And I don't mean like in this form where people are conversing and speaking with each other. Being an expert communicator is not only about how you interact with others, but how you interact with yourself. So that mastering that dialogue that you have in your mind, we mentioned it previously about the inner bitch, is that you have this internal dialogue where you have this you that tries to talk you down and you have this inner you that tries to push you up, and being able to create the art of mastering that will propel you in the likes of which you have never seen. And it's also the way to see if you feel down, anxious, depressed, all these negative feelings, and you want to stop them. The first thing that you can do to make impact immediately and change your life is mastering the communication inside your head. Another thing is always pick the path of kindness. So extend a helping hand. Kindness is at the cornerstone of a virtuous soul. Good deeds pay off. Put in the effort and watch how the world rewards you back. Never a truer word said. Do something and expect nothing, and you'll be blown away by how the world will return that good favour back to you. In a difficult world, as we're seeing just now, there's lots of tension and lots of things that are going on, and it can be difficult for to find positive or optimism within situations like that. But that doesn't mean that it can't be done. What it does mean is there's an opportunity to lend a helping hand, pass a little bit of good fortune down the line. I myself personally have always tried to pass as much down the line as I can, and it doesn't seem to matter how much kindness I pass on, the world tends to reward me tenfold what I give out. And there's never a true saying. You find someone, you could be doing something and just pass a little bit on. It might not mean anything to you, but it will mean the world to them. That can set off emotion. That can just be the thing that turns them around. So when you see the opportunity, you can do something, definitely do it. It's good for the world and it's good for your soul. Remember leadership and humility. So develop leadership within your strengths. Be led where you have weakness, and embrace humility and leadership. Step up when you have the skills, and when someone's stronger than you, let them lead you. And talk about power teams. That's 101. Be there, be humble, step up when there's an opportunity for you to fill the gap. Take action no matter how small. So recognise that action, regardless of scale, is a linchpin to sustain momentum. So get moving and keep moving perpetually. Do not stop. Remember, your goals and dreams don't have days off, right? So neither should these principles. It's not, I'll do it on Wednesday, I'll do it on Monday, it's the weekend. No excuses. Take action. Your word is your bond. Let your actions resonate louder than your words. Reliability is paramount. And that is not just to others outside, but your word to yourself. If you're going to commit to making a greater, better life for yourself and your family and your loved ones, and that's meaningful for you, that you're going to do whatever it takes, remember, your word is your bond to yourself. Keep at it. Resilience in the face of challenges. Never succumb. Rise stronger each time the adversity strikes. Resilience is the key to growth. Deep down, you know you have got this covered. When you spot others, teach them to empower themselves. Remember, we all have this potential within us, way more than what we realise. And if you've started this journey and you're picking up those skills, pass it along. See if there's someone there that's got some negative self-talk and crush it. Suffocate that negative self-talk. If you can show them the way and encourage them to be better, do it. Because the more people that we influence in this positive way, the better life becomes. And I think that the way the world's been, we've been starved of that for a little while. Wouldn't it be great to get back to it? Embrace negativity as a catalyst. So against resistance, discover growth, welcome challenges without fear. Negativity can be a catalyst for a positive change. What that means is that if something negative happens, what is the opposite of that? So always ask yourself, what is the opposing situation to this negativity? As there is darkness, there's also light. As there is cold, there is also hot. As there is hate, there is also love. So there is always an opposite in that situation. And your goal is to find out the route and path to that. Because if you focus on that, remember, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So don't get caught up in the negative parts. Rather, think of the route to get where you want to go. Listen, read, and adapt. Be attuned to your surroundings, evolve continually, and adapt to the winds of change. Right? This life is not stagnant. It doesn't stay still. Things change, technology change, people change, attitudes change, lifestyle changes. Everything is always constantly in motion. And if you're going to enjoy a life that's going to be fun and exciting and have twists and turns in it, then adapt and adjust, but not just externally. Do it within. Remember, we've got an inside world, which is our perceptions of outside. We've got this outside world that we interact with physically. So use these principles to get the most out of both so that you're primed mentally so that you can be primed physically. Okay, so here's the 6 a.m. accountability challenge. you rise at the start of the day. Now, rather than jumping on to social media or WhatsApp or emails or any number of things that you get on the phone, most people let their day start with whatever someone has put in front of them. And it's usually a reel or a post or a comment or an email or some other sort of notification of that kind. I cannot begin to express to you the power that you can find in starting your day the right way. If you imagine you got primed into the right state of mind before anything happened, before the emails and the calls and the text and the notifications and social media and news and all these things. Imagine before all that happened, you were primed. You didn't get caught up in the wave of the day and whatever. It's just like throwing someone out into sea and they're just getting swished around, with whatever the tide is for that particular day. Imagine if you could get out of that rhythm, and the new rhythm that you could find was a way that you felt structured and strong and focused on what you wanted out of life, and with a view that you wanted to have all the opportunities the days had to offer. Now, whether the day went to, it went pear-shaped or the day turned out the best possible day ever, you were primed no matter what happened. We've just went over the defining principles. These principles will set you up regardless of what happens. You use these principles and you will get results. You will get the results that you want. The idea of the challenges is that if you come in here and you want a challenge to see how accountable you are you ready to step up and just show that you've got it? Or are you needing a bit of accountability where you want to see where you're at? This challenge is for you. Maybe you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut, and maybe you just feel like you can't find the rhythm. Maybe you just feel like you just get swallowed up by the day's events, and that you almost feel like you don't have a sense of control of your life. Maybe you're lacking purpose, where you just think, I don't really know what's going on. Well, here's how to fix that. The accountability challenge is we are going to prime you at the start of the day. So what happens is we will define a goal that you're aiming for in the next 3 months. So it can be a tiny goal, it can be a large goal, but something that you can do over the next 3 months, whether it's start that business, apply for that job, get that raise, reach out to whoever it is that you're looking to reach out to, make that move, whatever it is that's going on in your life, whatever that is that's going to move the needle positively for you and where you want to go. We're going to start the day with that big goal, and that will be different for each and every one of us, but that big goal is the first thing that we have. What is my big goal for that next 90-day period? The next thing that we do is gratitude. What are you grateful for? Now, it seems cliche, but the reason gratitude is so powerful is that it primes you to be in an emotional and mental state of power. Because when you shift into a state of gratitude, what you do is you get a positive and strong emotion about what you have or what you've had or the things that have been great in your life. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be the results that you've had so far, it could be the people around about you, it could be the type of work that you're in, it could be the type of business you operate, it could be anything, whatever it is for you that you have gratitude for. And when you feel good about what you've got and the experiences that you've had, it changes your state. And the reason that we want to do this at the start of the day is we are priming your state to handle what comes up in that day. The next thing that we do is we are going to use the process of visualization. So visualization is a power tool that's been used by all the greats, the who's who of any accomplishment out there in the world. They have used this, whether it's golfers, professional athletes, movie stars, theatre performers, or even podcasters, and normal people out there just looking to get a little bit better than they got the day before. Visualization is a tool that we all have within, using the power of our mind. It doesn't apply to just the celebrities and the A-listers, it applies to us all. So let's use that by, what are we looking forward to? And that's what we do. We say, all right, here's the plan. What have I got on today? What could I be looking forward to? So you're priming yourself to look into your day to think of, if I smash that task and I get this result, I'll be looking forward to that outcome. And you're priming yourself using that creative imagination where you can visualize what it would feel like once you've accomplished it. And the power of that is it starts to give that energy of what you would feel like when you accomplish these tasks. Maybe it's that meeting, maybe it's that task that you want to get ticked off the list, maybe it's the person that you need to reach out to and you get a great response. But we're using those skills to start to send that great vibe out there, because when you reach out or when you make connections with people or when you go out to talk to someone, they can pick up your energy. So let's prime that energy into you before the day has begun proper. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set this on a Zoom call. It's going to be 7 days, 7 full mornings. There is no days off for your goals and dreams. So none of this, it's the weekend, I've got this, I've got that. 7 straight days at 6 a.m. in the morning. It's an 18-minute call. We all take part. You need to be present. You need to be on video. So you need to be prepared. And then you need to run through what one of your gratitude lists are. Everyone takes part and we all chip in. It doesn't matter how big or small your goal is. It's not about who's got the biggest goal. It's about you showing up for you. You showing up for your goals and dreams. You showing up for your loved ones that rely on you to have the best possible life. So there is no, regardless of how you feel, this accountability challenge is for you. If you're stuck in a rut and want to prime yourself to get in the right frame of mind, 7 straight days, you will see nothing but change from your side. The next thing is that if you're looking to improve already on a great standpoint that you have, then this is going to keep you true, because you're going to keep amplify and look forward through visualization on how you can keep improving your day and just making sure you're in prime state. So everyone chips in. You must be present on the call. And if you miss one morning, you're rolled back to the start. So if you like the sound of this, get in touch. The link will be in the show notes, or you can DM me if you want to get enrolled, and we will set this process in motion. We're going to begin it with the Mindset crew. There's lots of them that are up for it. We're going to start it with them, and we're going to run it out, and we're going to do it week and then enroll for the next week and enroll for the next week. So I look forward to seeing you on this challenge and seeing who really is consistent. And are you as consistent as you think you are? Or are you stuck and you need something? And is this the thing for you? Give it a try. It's 7 days. Can you do it? Let's see what changes you can make in 7 short days. And that's all from me this week on Mount Mindset. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. And from me this week, that's a wrap.